Check, 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 check. Checking audio now. Checking audio now. Checking audio. Ah! Check, 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 check. Checking audio now. Oh! Hey! We got it! We're on, we're on, we're on! Thank you! Oh my God! Damn! All right, so this is Nutty. Thank you guys for coming. Sorry for the delay, and I'm sure this probably sounds like crap. This is on the third microphone on the laptop, so it is what it is. So I apologize. Let's get right into it. Where are my notes? Oh, my mind's completely somewhere else. I'll move my fancy microphone out of the way. All right. Helen Keller, that's right. All right, Andrea, Gonzalo, Justin, Robert, everybody who's on Youth Music TV, thank you very much for coming. I'm throwing a bit of a party here. This is like 7, 8, almost 9 months worth of work, and I'm just thrilled to finally be here right now with you. And so yeah, so if you can in the chat, let me know. Have you gone and checked out the Releasing Your Music Master course? If you have, please let me know if you have. If you haven't, maybe somebody can pop the link for Releasing Your Music Master course in there for anybody who hasn't checked that out. That's like like an hour or so of instruction, etc., on how to organize your release rollout for a album or EP release, how to do it step by step. Went into a fair amount of detail on that thing. So yeah, really curious whether you guys have had a chance to check that out. I hope so. Had a lot of fun building it. I want to do something like that again in the very, very near future. But again, if you haven't been there yet or you haven't watched all 3 videos, just know there's like about 7 more days, 8, wait on, 23rd through the, geez, like the 30th or so. That's when it all comes down and it's gone, right? So you want to get in there, you want to do it. I'm just trying to get people in to do things. And one of the things in over 2.5 years now of doing Outerloop coaching, one of the things that we've learned is that, man, sometimes it's really hard to, when something's always available, it's really hard to convince people to do it because they don't have to like go, you know what I mean? It's like they can choose not to choose. So almost everything that we're doing going forward, it's like you got 7 days, you got 10 days, 14 days, whatever it is, to do it. And then it goes away because, you know, this is the thing. It's like as musicians, as independent musicians, there are opportunities and you go grab those opportunities. You go take it, you make it happen, you make it work. You don't wait for something better. You don't like sit. I mean, yeah, sometimes you have to because your gut tells you, this isn't right. But that's very different from like something being right and you just you decide not to decide, like, oh, maybe we'll get around to it, because that's what happens. Like it never happens for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, so these are opportunities, and you either decide to take the opportunity or you decide not to, and that's what Releasing Your Music Master Course. I just put it up for it's up a total of 2 weeks or so, and then after that it's gone. What's Andrea saying? Hey, there's a lag and you were talking over yourself. Oh man, is that right? I hope so. I mean, I hope not. Please let me know. Jeez, more tech problems, right? Maybe what I can do is get my face off the screen, which I'd love to do anyway. So yeah, Releasing Your Music Master Course. Let me pop in one of the things I wanted to do ahead of time, and I didn't because I was struggling here to get the microphone enough and all that stuff to work, that I didn't go and get that link ahead of time, but I can do. I'll do that now. If you need it, let me know. All right, Jesse, Justin say they can see things and everything's good. All right, rocking. All right. So let's dive into some things. One of the things I wanted to talk about here is just like, goals independent musicians have, right? That I hope are like everybody's goals, right? Um, and I can only sort of like get it down to two different goals that like every musician, every independent musician has. And the first one is, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a musician. I did it, for a few years way back in time, got signed, toured, all that stuff. But even when I was doing that, I never thought of myself as a musician. For me, it was always a means to an end of the business side. I always saw myself on the other side, right? And what I was doing was I was learning about the business, another aspect of the business. I managed a record store back when those really mattered. I program director at a radio station. I'd worked even in a warehouse and mailing out stuff. Did reviews for magazines, just produced a fanzine. I mean, hell, I was doing tape trading back in the day. So I tried diligently to try to see every side of the music business when I was much, much younger. And the one side I hadn't yet was being a musician, but that was just the means to an end. I can't relate to probably what you are, which is just a musician through and through. That's all you want to do. That's all you want to be. You don't care about the business stuff. You shouldn't care about the business stuff. So that's tough for me to relate to, because I relate to it more from as a fan, just like an extremely passionate fan. Yeah, so that's where I'm coming from. So let me know if I'm wrong. But what I believe are the two goals that every musician has. The number one goal is to make your music your career. And number two is to be able to focus on your music and not on the business, right? There's a certain amount of business that everybody needs to know, because you need to be able to protect yourself and all that sort of thing. But really, a lot of this business stuff can be a distraction. It can be creatively destructive. And man, as a fan first, what I want is musicians who are passionate and just creatively focused and being able to just do their thing and nothing else, right? Yeah. Apologies on the camera. This is like, a bad camera. I got a terrible background, all that sort of thing, but hopefully the information is going to matter more than the picture. So like, think about like those musicians who can focus on just their art and their music is their career, and that's all they have to do. They're at this point, they're almost like they have to at least be able to like be selling theaters. And man, it's sometimes with those musicians, it's like their music gets better and better over time. If you can picture for yourself, like, what would it be like to not have to be going to work 40 hours a week, to not have to be spending your time doing stuff on social media that isn't fun, right? I mean, yeah, responding to fans can be fun. It can also be tedious. Like, when you have to do it, it sucks. But imagine you didn't have to do that. Imagine you're waking up in the morning and all you're doing, all you're focused on is creating great music, recording great music, making your art better, and that's it. If that's like something that is a goal for you, I guess my point is that as a fan, that's my goal too, right? More than anything else, that's my goal as well. And this industry makes it really, really hard to get to that point, but at the same time, it also can make it easier. And so everything that I'm doing with Outerloop Coaching, everything I do with Mike Mowry and Outerloop Coaching is all focused and directed at that goal. That goal is so that you can focus on your art, not on the business. Now, that's a change over time from when we started Outerloop Coaching, where so much of what we were doing was really trying to give everybody the best instruction possible, the best teaching possible, giving you everything you need to know to be successful. And that has now kind of evolved because now my goal really is to make sure you know what you need to know, but to try to find ways to pull you out of the business and back into your art, actually becoming great at music. There's a lot of people giving a lot of instruction online. And man, I'll tell you, 2.5 years ago, most of that instruction really kind of blew. But I have been seeing some people over time who are coming up with really great stuff, and it's really good instruction. So, you know what? Why would I want to be just another person like that? Some of them know more than I do. None of them know more than Mike does. But I can't spend every day, all day talking to Mike and being able to then translate that stuff to you. What it is that I really want to do is I want to find ways so that you can focus on your music. So here we go. This is what we're doing today, right? Brand spanking new. Let me put the link in the chat. And let's see, it's looking at the clock. It's 4:17 Central Standard Time, 5:17 Eastern Standard Time. For the next 60 minutes, let's go with, you know what, let's make it fun. We're going to go up until 6:20, right? So now it's 5:18. We're going to go to about 6:20 p.m. where this link that I just put in the chat is live. You get $100 off of Release It Right, the Silver Screen Edition. That's what we're here to celebrate. I'm so proud and so excited to introduce this to you. I think this is a total game changer. So I'm going to spend some time telling you guys into detail, telling you guys exactly what it is that this does. So for 60 minutes, the next 60 minutes, that link is going to work. After that, boom, it doesn't work anymore. That $100 off is gone. This product is just now gone on sale. It will be on sale until 6:20 p.m. and then it doesn't go back on sale until let's see, Tuesday morning, probably 1 a.m. something. See how late I can stay up Monday night. It's going to go on sale. It'll be on sale for 7 days, and it'll be $100 more. So so that's there. That's what we're doing. That's what's going on. That link is happening. So now you have got it. So the goal for Release It Right, and now the goal for Release It Right Silver Screen Edition is just those two things. One, so that you can make your music your career, and two, so that you can focus on your art. You can focus on your music, and deal as little as possible with the business. Now look, Outerloop Management, Outerloop Records has for years now done an amazing job at releasing great albums and EPs, right? And getting just amazing results for these musicians. Oftentimes independent, they're in the same place you are more often than not, right? Like still trying to get the audiences to show up, still in that battle to get attention from promoters, from booking agents, and the rest of it, right? So it's a similar battle, but their results, the things that they get from their releases, and then the career trajectory that happens after that is always, well, all right, nearly always so much more than, well, independent musicians do. So, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that Mike's experience. Mike Mowry, the president of Outerloop, knows exactly what to do to have a really great release. And so we pulled that down into a system. So we're not building it from scratch every single time Outerloop is involved in a release. So we put that together into the original Release It Right program. And yeah, it's made it so much easier for Outerloop Records to release albums and EPs. They have, frankly, less staff than they did before we did Release It Right, and they are able to plan and execute a release in a whole lot less time, because what we did was we boiled down Release It Right to its system, and then all they got to do is just follow the system on that release, and it always does great stuff, right? So that was the history of Release It Right. When I took what Mike knew and I boiled it down, I gave it back to him and said, what's missing, what needs to be tweaked? He goes, this other thing, right? And then we took all that and then boom, solidified it, gave it to the Outerloop team. They started releasing, getting great results after great result after great result. And then the feedback from the team, we tweaked it. When we got it to a place that we liked it, then we put it out for Outerloop coaching so that you could get it, right? And it's on sale now for $111, I think it is, right? I don't think that price is going to stay there forever. So if you're interested in just Release It Right, that's where it's at, right? But so yeah, that's the history of Release It Right. It's just done amazing stuff for Outerloop, but it's also done amazing stuff for the people who bought it through Outerloop coaching. We've had one person after another coming back saying, hey, I got consistently, we would put up stuff, we'd get 9,000 streams in 2 weeks. Last one we did with you guys with the Release It Right program, we did 10 times that. And we got that over and over and over again. So it worked. It works. So that was the history of Release It Right. So before I move on to Silver Screen, yeah, why don't I do that? I'm going to do that real quick. Jesse, I'm going to see if I can find a way to make this invite work, because I think there might be. Let me see if there is. No, cameraman. Sorry, I'm going to try to. Maybe I can't. I thought I might be able to invite you in the back end here of YouTube Live, but I don't see it. So I still apologize. I won't be able to get you on camera, but I really, really wanted to. So Jesse, if you're there, just say hey in the chat, and then I'd like to kind of talk with you in the chat. Okay, good. I got you. All right, great. So real quick, Jesse, like let me know if I get out of line, right, at any time. But I want to introduce you, everyone, to you, because you've done just amazing stuff in the last 2 years since we met, since we started working together. And, you know, you've had a great band with great music. Nothing has really changed in 2 years because you guys had the stuff, most of it already recorded, if not all of it, if I remember right. So you had the stuff, you had the band, you had the recordings, but it was just a matter of how do you then leverage the connections that you've made, and then how it is that you were able to then have a successful release. Now, everybody, check out a band called Alive in Barcelona. That's Jesse's band. They're amazing, fantastic, and it's been just great to watch the work that Jesse does and how he applies everything, because he's been able to apply the things that we've been talking about and working together. We worked really closely last year during the Coaching Intensive 2018, and it was just an amazing year. You went from not sure what's going on to a signed record contract. You've taken everything that you've learned as well and become a manager yourself, if I'm right, yeah. And now you're leveraging not only the stuff that you've done amazing for Alive in Barcelona, but also what you're now able to then pass along to other bands, which to me as a fan of music is just, you know, I get all teary sometimes because I just think about, oh my God, the lives that are getting changed here it's just almost exponential because of people like you. So, you know, thank you for doing all that. So Jesse, can you talk a little bit about in the chat, like, you know, what kinds of, you know, how is your life different now, which is like the day before you go on tour, right? How is your life different now to what it was like 2.5 years ago when we first started working together? Can you, maybe kind of sum up some of that? Maybe talk about some of the numbers and results that you've gotten with AIB that you'd like to share with everybody. That would be really, really cool. Alive in Barcelona, folks. Look them up on YouTube. Look them up on Facebook and friend them on Facebook. Look out and see if they're coming to your town in the next few weeks, because if they are, you got to go. This is one of the things I can't wait until they come to Austin, Texas. I can't wait to meet you in person. Yeah, so it's going to be good. Jesse says, before I did Release It Right and Unleash It Right, I had all my ducks in a row for this band, but I didn't yet know how to release it. Bear with me here because I'm typing. I know, I apologize. So that's all right. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Let me talk about that in a little bit of depth about, not knowing how to release an album, right? This is like such an important thing, because I think with so many people, you think you just put the album out and the world will respond, right? Everybody will come. But like, not only is it crowded market, not only is it, but even when it wasn't a crowded market, you still have to generate excitement. You have to generate anticipation in the audience in order to get people excited about that album on week one. Week one. If like almost no album generates excitement after it's been out for 6 months. Yeah, it happens every once in a while. I think Everything But the Girl was like 25 years ago when a remix took their career off. But week one, how do you make week one awesome? And the way you make week one awesome is all the things you do for the 12 to 18 weeks before that. That's a long time. That's like 3 to 4 or 5 months. It's a lot of time, right? So many people are just like, man, we recorded, we just want to get that out, So I'm glad you got that there. You had your recordings, you had great photos, you had all of your elements, you had all your assets, but it was all about like, okay, now what? Like, how do we make sure? Because if I remember, it was like 6-9 months or something between the time you recorded that album and then finally it got released by the label that you guys were able to get the deal with. And that's a lot of time. So, you were able to actually strategize and actually get that rollout to happen. Awesome. So then, boom, you got great first week results. And now it seems like, from the outside looking in, we haven't spoken in quite some time, that it seems like you guys are generating real momentum on this album. But things I learned about marketing, targeted ads, Spotify marketing, etc., have grown this band like crazy. Let me give some numbers. Before we did these things, Jesse says, my band had 87 monthly listeners and 8,000 plays on Spotify. After some coaching and applying what I learned, I grew that same single to 250,000 in just a few months. That is freaking awesome. I hadn't heard those numbers before. That is just fantastic to hear, Jesse. Wow, I'm getting chills. Now we have 800,000 streams on our record, and it only came out in February. That's just great. We've sold 2,500 records in just a short amount of time. We just finished a tour with Red Jumpsuit Apparatus and Alessana. I'm literally in my bus as we speak, headed to start tour with Dead Girls Academy. This is the thing, right? So, like, these tools, you could hand tools to people and, like, if they just stand there leaned up against the wall, it doesn't get done. And look, Jesse is an amazing story, because he's one of those few musicians who is like, man, I really want this vision. And not only do I want this vision, but I'm going to work my ass off to get to that vision. And all I need to know is how. Like, I'll do the work if you'll show me how. So it's like, There it is. There's the how, right? And so if you're looking, you know, if you're thinking to yourself like, hey, like, how do I, as a independent musician, how do I get successful? Well, like, the one thing that, like, there's nobody can change for you, right, is that element that Jesse had even before we started working together, which is like, he was going to do the work. He was gonna make it happen. Like, he's passionate, right? But like, you can spin your wheels all day long if you don't know the how. And I'm just absolutely thrilled to see that, like, man, you're getting awesome results because you not only are doing the work, but you know how to apply that work. So there's no wasted time. I don't know how much the rest of the band, if you're in the band, no disrespect to the rest of the band, right? But I assume that like it's probably like a lot of bands where like there's the one, maybe two people, you know, who get it and really do it, and then the rest of the guys, you know, they're talented and they perform their ass off and they're vital to the success of the band, but they're not the ones who are gonna like figure out how to get a ton of Spotify streams. They're not the ones who are going to sit down and send the emails. They're not going to be the ones who are making connections in the industry and all the things that need to happen. So, you know, you need like that one person who, if nothing else, is going to be able to tell everybody else, this is what you got to do. This is how you do it, right? So, all right, let me catch up on Jesse's text. You absolutely have to apply what you learn, but it's a hell of a lot easier when you know where to start. We were all driven and all put in work, but it's me steering the ship. Absolutely. All right, very cool. Jesse, I can't tell you how awesome I feel to see this. You know, I knew that things were going well, but I had no idea. So if you don't mind, guys, I'm going to read this again. Jesse said, before we did these things, my band had 87 monthly listeners and 8,000 plays on Spotify. Now we have 800,000 streams on our record, and it only came out in February. That's nearly 1 million. Like, Jesse, at sometime soon, is going to be able to turn to other bands in his scene, mom and dad, maybe, you know, schoolmates, ex-band members, ex-bands, any doubters. I know every great independent musician has got doubters. They'll turn to them and say, I got 1 million streams on my album. 1 million streams. I mean, how cool is that? You know, I mean, that's just like, I mean, yeah, you can't pay the rent with that, but like, as an achievement, as something that you can then look back on and go, yes, I did something. Yes, I impacted 1 million lives. I mean, that's another thing about Alive in Barcelona. And maybe you can relate to this, right? Their lyrics are touching people. Like, they're changing lives with their lyrics, because there's people out there who feel the same way that they do about things, but never hear a voice that speaks to them and says, yeah, me too. And you know how awesome that is, to know that you're not alone in the world, and the kind of difference that can make to 1 million lives. I mean, that's the real impact of music. I mean, you could sit there and watch TED videos all day long if you wanted to, but like, yeah, sometimes that makes an impact. But the real impact is like music. Music, when you hear somebody who taps into something in you that says, I'm not alone, you know? Literally saving lives. And that is so cool. Hard work pays off, says Justin. Jesse and his band are doing an absolute amazing job, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, like, Jesse, I hope, you know, at some point you guys have got cameras out and you're taking lots of pictures and all that stuff, because you know, it could be like one day some director comes along and goes, hey, we're going to make a Bohemian Rhapsody out of Alive in Barcelona. You know, like, we got to make this movie. What do you got that we can tap into? I mean, you guys, you got a story here that's an amazing story, and you're just at the start of it. It's just such amazing momentum. I'd also like to mention that my band, for the first time ever, is actually making money, real green money. It's not enough to be rich, but it's enough to tour on the band's earnings alone. We no longer come out of pocket for the band to operate. And I will say that is truly all the difference. It takes the weight off your shoulders. That's great. Jesse said, "Hopefully, it's more like the dirt than Bohemian Rhapsody." Oh boy, who's at the wheel of this band? Awesome. I get. Hopefully, you guys get as much out of that as I do, because I think that's so amazingly cool. And you know, Jesse's like might be like the biggest, like, awesome success story that has come out of Outerloop. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know of anybody else who's had that kind of success. You know, like, you know, you guys are actually doing it, right? But the truth is that, like, Jesse isn't alone. Like, there are other people that we've worked with who are really passionate and have that vision, and they're doing great stuff as well. They're doing 10x, they're doing 20x, they're doing 50x types of numbers of what they did before. And so, yeah, Jesse, thanks so much for being here. Like, you know, if you are driving, please don't text anymore. So, but please drop into the chat. If anybody has any questions for Jesse, please hit him up in the chat. But yeah, like, it's part of what gets me really excited about Release It Right, the Silver Scream Edition, is that it really is another level to anything that we've done before. Now, I got that to Jesse G's just a few weeks ago. So when Jesse was able to do his last album with Alive in Barcelona, their debut, that's your debut, right? That was done with Release It Right. Their next album can be released with Release It Right, the Silver Scream Editions plan, and it is gonna just, I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait. I mean, these numbers are nothing. See, that's the other thing, guys. Like, these results are like exponential, because you think about all the things, all the people that Jesse and his band have connected with over that trajectory. Part of that success and that building of an audience is because those people are passionate fans talking about Alive in Barcelona to other people, right? And not to mention that media and Spotify and all the algorithms and stuff are all touching into their success, and it just makes it bigger and bigger, and the possibilities get bigger as the momentum builds and builds and builds. And so that's what gets me really excited about the Silver Scream Edition for Alive in Barcelona and for everybody else, because the sooner you start, the results are going to be exponential beyond that. Like, 800,000 might have been, like, I don't know. You tell me. If you're sitting here and you're like, wow, 800,000 album streams, you know, that would be awesome for my band. That'd be great. Well, guess what? Jesse and his guys are sitting in that band right now going, you know what, the next one, we're doing 1.5. You know, it's like 800,000, which might have been a dream. It was a dream. Like, that would be an awesome number. Well, guess what? Now he's got it. Now he wants something more. And he's gonna get it. I mean, it's just gonna get it. He's gonna get it done because he's working his ass off, and he's got an even better plan on doing it. So, and that's what happened, like, even from Release It Right, and why we made the Silver Scream Edition, right? So the Outerloop team is working Release It Right, release after release after release after release. It's just doing awesome stuff for them, right? And then Einstein Kills go, this is the outline, but we want to do something even more intense than this. We're going to do something like freaking great. And the label came in, and Mike and his team came in, and everybody powwowed and set up a strategy and said, let's try this. And granted, it's a great album. The Silver Scream is definitely a great album. But I almost think now that I've spent nearly 9 months just pouring through that strategy and how they did it, they could have been playing kazoos and done awesome numbers, really. So they got more intent with it. Mike Mallory texts me like about 2 weeks before the silver screen comes out. He's like, "Hey man, I think we're going to do really great numbers here. I can't remember the exact text, but it was just, I think is going to really blow people away." 2 weeks later, the numbers that they got were just so far beyond what anybody expected. Over 18,000 sales of their album. Was it 3.5 million streams of on Spotify, and yeah, I think it was all on Spotify. I think they also had their Apple Music numbers and everybody else and awesome numbers, but I think the 3.5 million were all on Spotify. They got to number 27 on the Billboard charts. Jesse, real quick, do you guys hit Billboard as well? So if do you happen to know like which charts you hit, and yeah, and like yeah, which charts you hit and where you hit? I think you guys hit pretty high, if I remember right. So if you don't mind mentioning that in the chat, that would be awesome. But this is the reason Billboard still matters. Like all of these numbers that you're trying to get to, number 6, Heat Seekers, freaking great. Freaking great. Like think about how many albums get released in a single week. And Alive in Barcelona got to number 6, number 35 in hard rock. That list is like all hard rock, I think, isn't it? It's not just the new releases. It's everybody. Got to number 35. Freaking amazing. But why does that matter, right? So when you turn to a booking agent or a promoter, when you're negotiating these you're negotiating your guarantees and what percentages are going to be. When you're going to a booking agent and saying, hey, we want to open up for that tour, right? They're going to compare. Well, should we go with that band or do we go with that band? Well, this band's got 800,000 freaking spins. How many have they got? That it creates opportunities. And so you're creating a story for your band with all these numbers. You're creating a story with the number of Facebook likes and your Spotify followers and streams and your Instagram following, and all these numbers matter. But the industry loves Billboard. They love to hear that you got to number 27 on the Billboard charts. They love to hear that you're number 6 Heat Seekers, number 35 hard rock. That shows that there is real momentum, professionalism, and you're a band to pay attention to, if not start working with right away. Because think about it as a label. You're like, these guys on their own or with a small team, a small independent team, in the case of Jesse and Alive in Barcelona, were able to get onto the charts and get high up on these charts, right? Man, sorry, voice went up, and right? They did it. Now, if you're a label and you're trying to figure out how do I make money, you're going to be like, well, I want to work with bands that are already making money. All I got to do is get them a little bit more. That's so much easier for them than being a label that's going to try to take somebody from scratch and then, build it up. How many years is that going to take, and how many mistakes can happen, and flaky this and blah blah blah. Labels just aren't interested, right? They just want to they just want success. They want to see success before they'll make success happen. And it's the most I like. That's the catch-22 that independent musicians are dealing with, right? The catch-22 is that you've got to get successful in order to be successful. So just a reminder, Release It Right Silver Scream Edition is $100 off. Let me get you the link again. Boom. And that is there for about 35 more minutes. Jesse says labels aren't building bands from the ground up anymore. It's just too expensive. They want to take a finished product and the formula works and then just hand them a deal. Take my word for it. That's right. Jesse's seeing it from the other side of the desk. So yeah, absolutely right. Top 100 for 5 weeks straight with the single Zombies. What a great story there. So so let's talk about all right, Silver Scream Edition. So what I then did, so I got a call from Mike about right after the Silver Scream Edition right after Silver Scream just blew up for Ice Nine Kills, because his phone starts ringing, right? I mean, Mike knows almost everybody in the music industry, especially on the hard rock side. So, you know, he calls, people will pick up, you know, but if he doesn't have something that they want, then that conversation can go a bunch of ways. Usually it goes to, you know, how's the kid doing? You know, it isn't like, how are we going to work together on this? And, you know, you send emails. It's just like you, right? You make phone calls, you send emails, and nothing happens. You don't get a response. And it's a drag, and it's hard work. Well, after Ice Nine Kills crushed it, getting number 27 on Billboard. After they crushed it, like, instead of Mike making emails and calls, now his phone starts ringing. And opportunities, instead of like going out and looking for opportunities, now that opportunities are being presented, and Mike's job is to say no. Now, imagine that. Imagine the difference between where you're at now as an independent musician, trying to like make things happen, trying to like find a tour, find a show, find a way to get somebody to listen to your music. Now, instead, you've got to go, no, we won't do that. No, we want more, or maybe we'll do that, but imagine the change. I mean, and now it's like all those things you say no to are the things that don't give you as much. They don't give you as much access to fans. They don't give you as much of a future. They don't give you as much money as the things that you say yes to. And that's a total change. And so that's what happened with the Silver Scream for Ice Nine Kills. All of a sudden, they're able to say no to things. They're able to like really take the awesome stuff, really maximize their time and value their time, and make sure that the world is, you know, is giving them what they deserve, what you deserve. So that was a total change. Mike calls me up. He's like, this is amazing. What's going on? We got to take what we did with the Silver Scream and the way we organize this release rollout, and we need to just do a Release It Right edition. And I'm like, that's great. Because how easy would that be, right? Like, all I got to do is just pull up Release It Right, throw in a new stuff in the calendar, and I'll put it out, new products, and it's going to really make a difference for people. That'll be really cool. I thought it would take me a few weeks. And it ended up taking me months, because I got a little carried away, right? The whole time I'm thinking, all right, if I'm an independent musician, what do I want to know? What specifically do I want to know? What do I have to do to get that success, right? That was on my mind. So here, let me walk you through what happens here with and I'm going to back up a little bit. Hopefully my camera gets into focus. Jeez. Yeah. So hold on. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. So this is the workbook. Let's see here. Let me move. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. Let's see if it's on camera. Sorry, just a second. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. Almost. All right. So like, this is the Silver Scream Edition workbook, right? So this is very, very similar to the original Release It Right, if you have it. Pre-recording checklist. So before you go in the studio, all the things you need to have ready, all that stuff, boom, boom, boom. You just check it all off. Make sure you do everything. And then while you're in the studio, this is where you're going to like keep track of your songs that you're going to record, and then you got your additional materials alternate versions, covers. Make sure you get your stems. All that stuff is a checklist, so you don't even have to think. And then you're leaving the studio. Post-recording task checklist. Make sure you know all the things. As soon as you do it, your bio, your layout, your mastering. Just check it off as you go. This is so easy, but you know what? Each one of these steps, any one step gets missed, you end up like costing yourself a fortune. And you know, and it slows everything down. Your additional materials, you know, like oh, sorry, that was already went back on that. So let's see here. Recording, post recording. Sorry, I went back the wrong way. Keeping track of what your singles are going to be. There are 5 singles for the silver screen, and then your additional materials list for post recording. You know, putting together Spotify playlists, getting on a podcast, an Instagram takeover with another brand, additional brand collaborations, doing a Reddit AMA or something similar, running contests, all that stuff. And keep track of it. And then this is where it really gets good, right? This is the release rollout calendar inside the workbook. All you need to know, you got your release date in here. You work backwards to know which week that you're on, what you need to do each week. And it's everything from the album release itself, the singles themselves. Let's see here, your graphics that support the singles, all the stuff that we talked about in the releasing your music master course. This is just book 1. This is just we're just getting started, right? So how great would that be to have? It makes it so much easier, right? This is fun. Instagram posting guide. Because people I was talking to are like, man, I don't know what to do about Instagram. I don't know how to do it right. Now you do, right? This is intense. Every single post that Ice Nine Kills did, and they did an amazing job on Instagram, right? Every single post, keep track. Was it a photo? Was it a graphic? What sort of things were included? What were they promoting? What was it supporting? All that is kept track of. What day of the week did it go out? So all you need to do is put in your planned release date, work backwards, and you know exactly what kind of Instagram post you need to do to plan ahead of time. And if you're using one of those tools, I'm not sure if it's geez, I don't know which of the tools are posting to Instagram at the moment. I know TweetDeck doesn't, but yeah, one of those, maybe a HubSpot, something like that. This makes it so easy because now you can plan every single one of your Instagram posts ahead of time, and you know exactly what to make of it. You know what to do. Now, like I said, what Ice Nine Kills did was absolutely intense on Instagram. They had a huge focus on Instagram. As everybody knows, it's become like probably the #1 social media for getting word out on music stuff. It's just perfect demographically, perfect visually, all that stuff, right? So, but it was intense. So if you're like, man, that's great, but I don't have a team of 6 people to help me make everything that needs to happen to do that kind of a rollout. So what I did was I have here all the Instagram posts that they had, and then I kept track how many likes, how many comments, how many views, so that way you can go, you know what, these are the posts that are my priority. So these are the ones I'm going to focus on. And so that way you can just go back to what it is that you really you have to do to at least have a okay rollout on Instagram. But I'm telling you, this book on its own is worth, I don't know how much it's worth. I really don't, but it's huge. If you're ever frustrated on how to release your album or EP on Instagram, this book has the answer. It's like tablature for a release rollout, right? You don't need to like listen and go, oh, it sounds kind of like this. This is what notes to play and exactly when to play them. So there's no more guessing. And again, this is all only on sale for another 25 minutes. So please grab it for $100 off. It's $197 instead of $297, which is the price it's going to have starting on Tuesdays. It goes off sale in 25 minutes. Facebook posting guide. It's the same thing. I won't go through it all, but exact same thing as the Instagram posting guide, but it's for Facebook, obviously. So exactly what it is that they did, the kind of text that they were using, and so that way you can have a really great, intense, perfect, if not perfect and close to damn perfect, rollout for your album or EP on Facebook. It's gonna kill. Last workbook. The asset checklist. If you ever gotten frustrated with, oh no, we got to put a graphic on this one thing and you're doing it last minute, like you don't have to do that anymore. You got the asset checklist telling you exactly what to do ahead of time. And then I also included all of Ice9 Kills graphics. So if you wanted to, sort of mirror their, what they were doing and when, you can see what they've got and you can try to design something similar if that is what you're trying to do. It'd certainly be real helpful if you have a graphic designer or a video editor is going to do your teaser videos for you. You can just hand them this book and go, this is kind of what I want with my band, right? Make it real easy. Now that's the basics inside this program, but also you get the entire original Release It Right program. 3 hours of videos, video instruction from Mike Mallory, the manager of Ice9 Kills. Excuse me. You get the whole workbook for the original Release It Right. It's all fantastic. It works wonders. This is going to be great if you're like, yes, we are going to release our next album or EP, like just freaking awesome. And we're going all in. We're going to do this. And you get the Silver Screen Edition. And then you get up to like, to do it. And you realize that, yeah, like there's some work to be done here. We won't be able to necessarily keep up with this. Let's scale back a little bit. You got this as a backup plan. And it gives you the foundations. This is the ground balls and pop flies of a release rollout, right? The rest of it, the Silver Screen Edition, this is advanced stuff. It's intense. And so that, but so that's not all, right? All right. So for the next 22 minutes, you're going to get a calendar. Your release rollout calendar as a full-size PDF. I also have a version so you can either take the full-size one to your local printer and throw it up on your jam room wall, or you can print it out on your local. I got a second version where you print it out on your local in-house color printer. You throw that up on your wall, just sheet by sheet, 8.5 by 11s, right? And tape them up. It makes it easy so you can see where they connect and all sorts of things. By having that up on the wall, the release rollout calendar, you can take your Sharpie, nice big spaces. You can assign tasks to people and make sure that everybody knows what they need to know. And when that week happens, you can turn to them and go, "Did you do that? Did you do that? Where are we with this?" And keep everybody accountable. It's how you will do your release rollout just freaking awesome. Because you can't do it alone. You just can't. You need extra help. And you got to start with your band members. You got to get some family and friends in there, maybe some fans to help out. So that is available for the next 20 minutes. And it's also going to be available on Tuesday. But on Tuesday, it's going to be $297 instead of $197. So let me put that link in right there. Other bonus going away soon. You get it today for the next 20 minutes. It's the advertising strategy guide. So I have people asking all the time, how do we do the advertising right? How do we, because like so many people will spend money and it just seems like it's throwing it away. And there's so many better ways to spend your money. Whether you're spending $15, $1,500, 3,000, I mean, I don't know, whatever your budget is, use this advertising strategy guide, because this will make it so that every dollar you spend is a good investment. This alone should save you the $200 that we're charging for Release It Right Silver Screen Edition right now. This alone, if you, and this is the thing, you don't have to do advertising when you roll out your next album or EP, but I'll tell you what, if you do, it's like rocket fuel. when you do it right. It's a drag when you do it wrong. When you do it right, it's like rocket fuel. You will bring fans in that you just can't reach any other way. So advertising strategy guide. Yep, sorry about my arms. I got a bad shoulder. Yeah, exactly where to advertise, when to advertise. And again, even if you're only spending a few bucks, this is going to make it so that those dollars spent are effective. There are times when advertising makes sense and other times where it doesn't in certain places. When you combine this with the Instagram posting guide, the Facebook posting guide, I'm telling you, it's like rocket fuel because now everything is aligned. It's just now you've got a absolutely professional rollout of a release. I don't know why you would bother signing with a record label after this. If you can do this and build a team to help you do this, you almost don't need to give any of your publishing or the sales money, all that stuff to the record label, because now you know exactly what to do. You know exactly when to do it. I'm so incredibly excited and proud of this program. I can't tell you, I don't think anything like this has been done before. Jesse will tell you, I suck at this freaking sitting here telling people that you got to buy something. I can't do it. But this is an exception because I think if this got into the hands of independent musicians, I think this could be almost as big a game changer as like streaming services are. Because you think about the streaming services, right? Now you have access to millions of people around the world that before you didn't have access to unless you were signed to a record label with really great distribution. But now you got to go through a digital distributor, mind you, I guess, with Spotify nowadays. But you go through that, and it's a small leap to do it. You now have access to millions of people you did not have access to before. But the reason that independent musicians can't compete with the record labels, a certain amount of his resources, a certain amount of it is having people. But I'm telling you, if you can build a small team of people with your family members, your friends, fans, even just people in your band, you have everything a record label needs to be successful with this program, because this is exactly how it was done and how it was done better than most record labels release their albums. This is the last bonus. I should say, I'm sorry, the advertising strategy guide, this one goes away in 15 minutes at the link I got in the chat. All right. I put it there again. In 15 minutes, it goes away. It'll be made available again when we go on sale on Tuesday. It'll be available through, I think it's Thursday. And then, boom, you don't get it. All right. But just like, I don't know what to say. It's just like either you understand and you get this and it makes sense and you're like, God damn it, yeah, I want this for my band. I want this for my career. Or you don't. So that's why these are going away. For those people who hear this and go, yeah, God damn it, this is everything. This is taking like all of my work and all the things that I know I can do and what I'm capable of and showing me how. This is how to make a career in music. This is how to get 800,000 streams, right? So like, this is I don't know what to tell you, but other than either you get it and you're like, yeah, damn, or you don't. And geez, for $200, God damn it, it's so freaking cheap. This is the last bonus. This bonus available for 15 more minutes. It'll happen again on Tuesday. You get it through, I think it's Saturday, Friday or Saturday, and then it goes away. And it goes away forever. I should add, in case I haven't mentioned this, Release It Right Silver Scream Edition is only available now for 15 more minutes. And then it goes on sale on Tuesday for $100 more than I'm selling it today. And it will be available for 7 days, and then it goes away forever. And it's gone, right? Jesse wasn't looking at that advertising guide. You got it, man. So social media swipe file. This is the last one, right? The last bonus. Have you ever sat down at your computer and you're like, or sat down at your phone and you're like, I gotta do a post as part of my rollout, but I can't think of anything to say. You have that social media writer's block, right? So I made this social media swipe file so that you never during a rollout ever need to guess what you need to say or how you need to say it, because now you can do it just like Einstein Kills did, and just, excuse the pun, killed it on social media. So if you perhaps you heard of like something called a Mad Lib, right? Where you get like someone says, okay, give me a noun, give me a verb, give me an adverb, all sort of thing, and then you turn a thing, the person fills in the nouns, fill in the verbs, fill in the adverbs, and then you get a really funny statement. In this case, I ask you, what's the name of your album? What's the name of your band? What's your website? Give me a name of a band member, stuff like that, right? And then you put it into these posts, and boom, instead of like a really funny message, what you got is an almost perfect social media post. And you time this out with where it can go inside your release rollout, and it's going to be fantastic. How to word a really great contest. How to word a success getting landed on a playlist in Spotify. How to word a post about what else we got here? How people can pre-order your album, which is a crucial part of the rollout process. It's right here. Now you know exactly what to say, and it's this is a bonus. Most people, if you don't buy this either now for $197 with the Release It Right Silver Screen Edition on sale now at the link in the chat. If you get it now for $197, you get all these bonuses, and then on Tuesday, if you're like, it's not right, today isn't the right day, Tuesday you can get it and you get all the bonuses, but you're spending $100 more than right now. Oh, Jesus. And that's not all, right? So you also get an interview with Spencer Charnas. This is an incredibly inspiring interview with Spencer shortly after the success of the Silver Screen. And he goes through how it is that he went about through the creative process, the plan, the strategy throughout this whole rollout, what exactly it was from his perspective as the artist. It's inspiring to listen to him talk. He's so eloquent. It's I highly recommend it. That's part of the program. You get that as well. I also have an interview with Mike Mowry. I call it the autopsy interview because it's a few months after the successful release of the Silver Screen, and we're able to talk about how his life has changed and his way of managing Einstein Kills, how that has changed for him. And it's pretty amazing talk, I think. I love hearing from him on that topic. So both of those are available. Also, you get a link to a Google Sheet version of the release rollout calendar, and it's automated. So what you do is you plug in your prospective release date, and then all the fields fill in with exactly what you need to do at what week and what time, what day of the week that you need to do to get your release rollout done exactly right. It's really, really cool. I made it as simple as I possibly could. And I believe there also is a Google Sheet version of the social media swipe file. You plug in your band name, all the rest of it, and boom, it just gives you the post. All you need to do is copy and paste, put the text in. You probably want to double check, edit, that sort of thing, but I think most of the time it's going to work pretty awesome. Does the advertising guide come with the Release It Right Einstein Kills package? Yes, it does, but only for the next 10 minutes. And then again on Tuesday, and it goes away on day 4 of is it day 3 or day 4 of once we put it on sale next week. So if you get it now, you're totally solid, and you save $100. I'm trying to make it as easy as I can. Yes, it's part of the package, but it won't be everybody's package if they wait too long next week when this thing goes on sale. So, I mean, if you can think about this, like how many times, if you've been a musician for a while, and I'm sure there's some of you are on here, you're like, man, I've put out 2 albums, or I put out 2 EPs or 1 EP, and it just didn't go the way I wanted, and my life hasn't changed, and you know, all that stuff, right? Well, if you can think about like the work that you might have put into that, but all of it just seemed to go for nothing. It's like trying to learn a song that you just heard on the radio, but you only heard it once. Like, how are you supposed to play that? Like, you can't. So you go online and you pull up the tablature. And that's what this is for a release rollout. All you do is you play the right notes at the right times, and you've got a freaking great song. That's how that works. And this is the part, this is the critical part that I don't think I've mentioned, right? This makes it so that you are no longer thinking about how do I release my album or EP. Instead, you're thinking, how do I write the next great song? How do I put on an even better performance next time? How do I touch people's lives better and more thoroughly than I ever have before? How do I make my fans' lives better? That's what you should be thinking about, right? How do I write a song that's going to light the world on fire? That's what I want you to focus on, not how to release an album, not how to file a publishing form. You know, that's what I want you focused on. And this is my attempt to try to get you as close to that as I possibly can. If I could release your album for you, I would. I can't. But what I can do is try to make it as absolutely easy as possible, and then hope that you can do it. If you do the work, then you don't have to think while you're doing the work. You just go, yep, that's what I gotta do. Yep, that's what I gotta do. Oh, I gotta make that graphic. I gotta make that teaser video. And even better yet, if you're the band leader, and probably if you're in this on this webinar now, you probably are. You can, instead of turning to people and going, yeah, I don't know what you need to do, but you need to do something. Can you do something? Instead, you can be like, I need these things done by next week, right? And that makes it, in this is specific what to do. And if you've got a budget to go on Fiverr and ask for help there, well, that you're going to save a ton of money doing that as well. If you can't find people who will volunteer for you, now you can say, this is exactly what you need to do and how you need to do it. And yeah, so I think this is kind of a game changer, and you can tell how excited I am. I mean, I know I had like a fair amount of caffeine today, but like not this much, right? This is 9 months of building this thing, and when I started, I just didn't think that it was possible to do this. But as I dug through it, and I kept on asking members of our Outerloop community, like, you know, what is it that you need? What is it that would make this better? Can you think of something else you need? And I got people's feedback. Boom! This is the program that came out of it, and I can't wait for you to have it, and I can't wait for you to go and take this and actually make your music your career while focusing on your art and not the business. Look, I don't want to sell you another program that teaches you something, that shows you how to be better at the business of music. I don't want business people in my music. I want musicians in my music. So this is the new direction for Outerloop. This is what I'm trying to do with Release It Right in Silver Screen Edition more thoroughly. I think we touched on it a little bit in Release It Right, but now I think we're getting it right there with the Silver Screen Edition, where you just, yeah, there are things you need to know, but it's not that much. And I don't want it to be a distraction from your art. I want this program to be the way that you release music and build on it exponentially, one release after another release after another release, building, and not just like Jesse said, 800,000 album streams, right? On the original Release It Right program, not even with the Silver Screen Edition, 800,000 streams. Well, next time, well, this is exponential. He's got 800,000, well, not people, but like, you know, he's got a whole boatload of people who are going to turn to other people. They're going to add them to their personal playlist. They're going to be excited, that much more excited for the next Alive in Barcelona record, right? And now that 800,000, what does that turn into? Like 4 million next time? 5 million? 8 million? Something like that? I don't know, but it's freaking great. And it's a hell of a lot more than 800,000. So, that's the goal, right? That's what we're at. 40,000 monthly listeners. 40. Jesse is standing on the Spotify stage performing for 40,000 people every month on Spotify. I mean, that's what that is like. If you know how many times you've gone on YouTube, I do this all the time, right? I type in my favorite band at the time, someone I like, and I do a pro shot, and it's like some festival or another, and I watch some great band that I love performing for 40,000 people or more, and I go, wow, that must be amazing. That is what Jesse's doing every month. That's what you could be doing every month. In fact, I believe if your music is half as good as Alive in Barcelona's, and I don't know, maybe it's better. Who knows? It's all relative anyway. It doesn't matter. It's not a competition. I mean, you could be playing kazoos. I think with this program, you can do these type of numbers, and you're going to just absolutely crush it. So it's on sale for 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. You get $100 off. Here's the link last time. $100 off of Release It Right, Silver Scream Edition. Man, and there's more information at that link too if you need it, but act fast. 3 minutes to go. You get the workbook, Instagram posting guide. I mean, this is like $200 unto itself. I really believe it. I really believe it. You got your Facebook posting guide. So you know what you're doing when you post on these, right? Hopefully I'm on camera. Am I not on camera? Gotta lean over a little more, sorry. Asset checklist makes things so much easier, especially for delegating, right? The entire Release It Right, original Release It Right program, with all the videos, the workbook, all that stuff. Advertising strategy guide, the full-size release rollout calendar, the social media swipe file, interview with Spencer Sharness, the lead singer of Ice Nine Kills, interview with Mike Mowry, the manager of Ice Nine Kills. Guys, this has been a blast. I can't tell you, I'm just excited that this is complete. And I wanted to do today because I wanted you to have an opportunity to get this at the cheapest price it'll ever be. And Jesse, I can't tell you how both excited I am for your success, as well as grateful to you for being here and letting everybody know what's possible, because it's freaking great. Everybody go see Alive in Barcelona when they come to your town. Alive in Barcelona. I think it's it.com, right? Subscribe to them on YouTube too, because they got great freaking videos. YouTube is like, that might be like the next thing we need to really tackle in an intense way for Outerloop. 1 minute left, 1 minute left, and then I'm taking this thing off of sale at $197. It's the Release It Right Silver Scream Edition. It goes away in 1 minute. It will go back on sale on Tuesday at $297. So with 1 minute left, if you're like, I just can't do it right now, that's okay. You can do it on Tuesday, but it's going to be $100 more. Spread the word. This isn't like a zero-sum game. This is the greatest thing about music. You introduce it to your friends, you tell people about it, and you have no less music than when you started, right? Like, I listen to music. I listen to music almost all the time. There's still hours of my day I could be listening to more music. And it's the same with everybody. So that's the thing. You're not like, it's not like, oh, well, I got to keep this from everybody else in my scene because I don't want them to know this, and I don't want them to, you know what? It's okay. Like, you introduce this to your friends. I'm telling you, they'll be grateful when they're having the kind of success that you're going to be having as well. And that when they have their success, they're going to be like, God damn it, yeah, we're bringing you on tour. You know, that's all part of the game. You know, it's all part of what we're trying to make happen. And so, you know, send this, let everybody that you know about this. It's only on sale Tuesday through the following Monday. So I think it's like the 23rd through the 29th or 30th, and then it's gone. I'm not putting it on sale again. It's done. So yeah, come up together, Jesse says. That's exactly right. So as we're winding down, I'm heading over here to the to my back end just to I just gotta take this off. It's gonna go back to on sale for $100,000. Feel free to give me $100,000 if you want to, but the only reason I'm doing that is that so that the people who are already in, you have access to it. Yeah, when you bought and we're off sale now. Yeah, when you bought Release It Right, the Silver Scream Edition, you got everything instantly, and then goes away. So hope you grabbed this. I see that a few people did, so that's fantastic. Again, spread the word. I thank you. Hey, I saw that Jesse was answering a lot of questions there, but here was me just getting all excited about the Silver Scream Edition. I didn't really see too many of those, but feel free to email me at paul@outerloopcoaching.com or paul@outerloopmanagement.com. I'll answer any of your questions, especially if there are questions about the Silver Scream Edition, but I'll answer questions about most anything. Feel free to hit me there. And hey, I'm very grateful for you guys being here. Thank you very much. This has been fun. Hey, you know what? And I did, yeah, no, I think we're good. I thank you very much. We'll see you guys next time. I'll see you, yeah, hit me up on outerloopcoaching.com. Van Wolf, thank you. I really appreciate it. Hey, and just so you know, I have moved physically. I know nobody really cares too much about my personal stuff, but I have been living in Dublin, Ireland for the last 4 years odd. I've moved back to Austin, Texas, where I lived for 12 years before, and still getting myself sorted. As soon as I'm into a place of my own, I've got things sort of set up. I will be setting up a much better camera system, and we're going to do regular webinars on Saturday here on YouTube Live, so I can answer questions about how to release your album or EP, how to, whether it be publishing related, marketing related, all that stuff. I'll be happy to answer questions then as well. paul@outerloopcoaching.com, outerloopcoaching.com as well. Happy to answer everything. Until then, we did it. Thank you very much for being here. The oldest pub on the planet. Which one is the oldest pub on the planet? Is that the one right near the Liffey? I can't think of the name of it though. I went to one that was super mega old, and yeah, a buddy of mine was in town. Manages a number of really great bands. Volumes are probably my favorite of all those bands. If you're a fan of that type of genre, yeah, we had a great night drinking, and yeah, so I think that was the one, but I can't remember the name of it. I'm gonna miss the pubs in there, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, all right, you guys be well, and Jesse, let me know when you're coming to Austin. All of you, let me know when you're coming to Austin. I'd love to say hey. And geez, how do I shut this down now? Thank you very much, guys, and I will see you later.